I'm Donald Leggett. Welcome to the latest London South East CEO interview. I'm joined today by Joshua Fegan, founder and CEO at Althea Group, the Australian ASX-listed cannabis company. Althea describes itself as a global leader in the manufacturing, sales and distribution of pharmaceutical cannabis products and cannabis-based consumer goods. So, two different segments. It has a market cap of around £74 million and has just released its plans for doing business in Europe. Joshua is here today to talk us through all this. Welcome, Joshua.
Good morning, Donald. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and I'm very interested in hearing more about your company.
Great.
So I understand you've moved to the UK to support Althea's push into Europe. So
yes,
why Europe? Why now? Why is this the place to be?
It's definitely the hive of activity, and a few recent developments with some mergers and acquisitions obviously proves that. I relocated in mid-October 2020. We have been in the UK for quite a while as a business. We actually set up the first company back in 2017 and have been selling our Althea Pharmaceutical cannabis products into the market since late 2019. But it was just time to get over here and really take the bull by the horns. We're very bullish about the UK market itself, but we've also since launched the Althea brand into Germany. Only this month we've started selling there as well. We're involved in the French national trial for medicinal cannabis, and also see legalization occurring there in the next 18 to 24 months. So it just makes sense to be here and work with the team and grow out as quickly as we possibly can.
So what's the scale of the opportunity that you see in the UK, in France and in Germany?
So the forecast suggests that the total legal cannabis market in Europe represents about £26 billion by 2027. So the market opportunity itself is a great one. The UK is probably the most mature out of the marketplaces. They're talking about upwards of 1 million potential patients in this country alone. And Germany is obviously a well-populated country. They've had a medical cannabis framework since about 2018. So, things are really starting to happen there as well. Germany's exciting in that it's a reimbursement market, so the products can actually be paid for by public health insurers, whereas in the UK and Australia right now, the products are self-pay. France, we believe, would probably follow a similar framework to Germany, which is very exciting.
Okay. AGH are focused on two market segments: medicinal cannabis products, which you sell to the medical profession, and cannabis-based goods aimed at consumers. So consumers and the pharmaceutical industry. Could you talk us through those two segments for us, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So with our pharmaceutical cannabis products businesses, it's all about market access. So bringing what we call cannabis-based medicines to market. How we do that is very traditional. We actually move and act like a big pharma company. So think about a Pfizer or an AstraZeneca launching a brand new drug into market. What it takes is a drug master file that you then have in-field representatives that go out and see doctors, educate them about the products, talk to them about clinical evidence, dosage requirements, what things look like for the patients and whatnot. And that's actually how you generate prescriptions for your drug. And in turn, those prescriptions are dispensed and it creates revenue for the business. So we're not reinventing the wheel. It very much is a tried and tested strategy. It's all about implementation of that strategy. And we've got some very, very experienced people within the business working within medical affairs, quality, all that type of stuff, so that the products themselves are well supported. And what we're seeing is doctors really take to the medicines. The Althea brand's resonating with the doctors. It's a slow burn. When you're launching a drug for the first time, we need to look at it as a marathon, not a sprint. But when you get enough buy-in from the medical community, you essentially become a trick in that doctor's bag of tricks. And our two biggest indications are pain and mental health. which are very prevalent in society. So it's a great opportunity. You've just got to do the work, and over time you get the compounding interest because doctors see it working for their patients, and because of that they start prescribing the products to more of their patients, and before you know, you've got a very grand consumer base.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So what sort of interest have you had from the medical profession? What kind of, what are your quick wins been? What are your successes? Tell us all. What are the numbers looking like at the moment?
So in Australia and the UK, we have well over 15,000 patients that are utilising Althea products, well over 1,000 doctors prescribing them. So we're making progress, absolutely, but the addressable market is obviously sizable. So what we're concentrating on is scale and repetition, because we have so many doctors that we need to get to. For example, there's about 50,000 specialists in the UK that could, in theory, prescribe Althea products right now, but if they don't know about it and they don't understand the therapeutic benefits, then they won't. So we've done a few things to try and grow the market as quickly as possible. One of those things is Althea Concierge. It's actually a software medical device that is registered with the Therapeutic Goods Administration. And what that does is takes all of the guesswork out for the doctors. So think of it as like a portal that they can log into their computer. They can learn about Althea products. They can understand all of the clinical evidence behind it. It supports them with clinical decisions, and also is a treatment monitor for the patient. So the patient actually gets a downloadable app, and it walks them through the treatment proper. And then it reports back to the doctor. So what we're doing is allowing the doctor to see the results for themselves, which instills confidence and takes all of the guesswork out of the prescribing, because they weren't taught about cannabis at medical school. It is a new drug area, and that's what we're at the forefront of, is leading the way with the medical community who you need. You could have the best manufacturing facility in the world. You could have the greatest product in the world, and ours are pretty good. But if you don't have the doctors believing in your products and actually prescribing them, then you'll go nowhere.
All makes a lot of sense. All your cannabis products, I presume, are accredited in Australia. Does that accreditation work across Europe?
Absolutely. So with our pharmaceutical cannabis products, the gold standard, so to speak, internationally is what they call GMP, Good Manufacturing Practice. So our products are certified GMP, which is why they're available right now in the UK, Germany, and other emerging marketplaces. It's going to be the standard as well. So yeah, we've definitely got that behind us. Quality and safety of these products is really important, but again, it just comes down to demonstrating evidence with the healthcare professionals and giving them a reason to adopt it as a medicine.
What about regulatory frameworks, though, Joshua? Are they different? Well, they will be different in the UK now than Europe. Now that we're out of Europe, where are you with accreditations and so on? The regulatory approvals.
Yeah, I mean, so we've had dealings now with 4 or 5 different health regulators. 3 in Europe are the MHRA here in the UK, Germany, BfArM, and France now with the ANSM. And the regulations are strict. This is a highly regulated marketplace. For example, in Germany, our cannabis oils are one of 5 brands available for sale there. And that's probably 3 years after medical cannabis was legalised. So they are quite strict when it comes to quality standards, and in a way that does provide us with barriers to entry, and it also demonstrates that what we do is a bit of a land grab. You do need to get into these emerging marketplaces early, but our biggest thing is really sales and marketing. We are the brand of choice for doctors and patients in these highly regulated marketplaces. We have about a 25% market share in Australia, already about a 32% market share in the UK. And we know we're going to do quite well in Germany because there's a big gap in knowledge of doctors. And the more doctors that you bring into this, the more patients you get and the more sales you make.
You said yourself that you're going for a slow burn approach, and leading with the medical profession. It presumably takes deep pockets, and it costs quite a lot of money to take that approach. So, what does your funding look like? Are you fully funded to be able to afford to address these different markets and those different routes to market that you've just talked us through?
Yeah, so at the end of 2021, we had about 8.6 million cash in the bank. We received a further 3.7 million in January off the back of a share placement that we did. So we are well funded. We are scaled for growth as well, obviously, and that's why I'm over here in the UK and now springboarding further into Europe. It is a marathon, what we're doing here, but we're very conservative. We haven't drowned hundreds of millions of dollars like other cannabis companies. The big ones in Canada have spent. We've been very meticulous in executing our strategy, and we'll continue to do so. We have really good support, so we've got a fantastic register already that's solid and very understanding of the story. So it's a long-term proposition, but very much high reward at the other end. Our non-pharmaceutical cannabis business is very exciting as well. So they're the CPG products that you spoke about a little bit earlier, Donald, and that's great. That's essentially a adult use cannabis play that we have going on in Canada. We own one of the best production facilities in that country that specialises in the manufacturing of things like infused cannabis beverages, live concentrates, topicals, vapes, and that type of thing. It's very much business to business. So we work on behalf of customers that want to launch CPG products into that adult use market.
By adult use, do you mean this is legalized cannabis as you and I would understand it?
Correct. Yeah. So it's essentially lifestyle products that we're talking about. So this is not our pharmaceutical business. This is a different division, but we've already got quite a few customers signed up that are well known, including Kronos, Weed MD, Collective Arts, which is a brewing business existing in Canada, Tinley's, which is a well-known cannabis beverage company out of the United States. And we've got a lot of customers in the pipeline that we're working with on formulation and product development. So we're related diversification, if you will. We have a bit going on as a company, but it's all under control, and what we're doing from here is simply executing.
Okay, we're in Canada. Let's stay with Canada. You bought Peak, a cannabis product manufacturer in Canada. How much did you pay for Peak? Why did you think it was important to take ownership of your own supply chain by buying Peak?
Yeah, well, it kind of served two purposes for us, the Peak acquisition deal. At the time, it allowed us to produce the products, the Althea branded products that we sell into Australia and continues to do so, which is great. But it also gained us access to this adult use market in Canada. But very much risk averse in that we're the middleman. We do the specialist manufacturing, and another brand that is very adept at what they do the selling and promotion of those products. So it's great. And the other thing is we learn a lot about...
You white label essentially in Canada.
Yeah, so white label is more of an opportunity with the dispensaries themselves that want to have their own brands, but certainly private labels. So, Kronos is a good one. We're producing a range of concentrate products on behalf of Kronos. So they supply us with their biomass. We do our thing, and what they get is a finished product that's sold through at a dispensary level.
Okay, very good. How has COVID affected your business?
Like most businesses, there's certainly been an impact. I would say that I'll start with the positives. I spoke a little bit about Althea Concierge, which is our proprietary medical device. Technology is something that the medical community aren't great with or weren't exactly great with. A lot of clinics, for example, that doctors work in still use Faximile. So what COVID did was it actually brought doctors into the 21st century through things like telehealth medicine and whatnot. But more importantly, because we had Althea Concierge, we could continue working with doctors because everything they really needed to know about our products was at their fingertips. Conversely, the downside was it made it harder to do our jobs, which is actually get out there in the field with doctors face to face and really educate them about these products and work with them to initiate patients for the first time. So, yeah, a bit of a blessing and a curse. Fortunately, we were still able to grow. The pandemic's by no means over, but there's a lot of businesses that suffered a lot worse than ours. So I'm thankful that we had the opportunity to continue trading. Once the dust settles and the thing's blown over, I think we can get back to maximal growth.
Okay, final question. What kind of news flow can we expect from Althea Group in the next 12 months?
Well, no shortage of news flow. Probably the next sort of things to look out for are the evolution of Germany. So initial sales and us going about our business over there, which is awesome. There's further expansion plans. We've got a lot of distribution opportunities into different parts of Europe as well, including France in the next sort of hopefully 18 months coming online, and we'll be well positioned to get our products to market from day one there. A lot of development in the existing businesses being UK and Australia, a lot of execution, so that's good. Away from away from the pharmaceutical cannabis, over in Canada, I think you're going to start seeing these products get to market from the deals that we've already signed. And then, bigger names and bigger volumes coming through that business, which should generate really meaningful revenue, but in a much faster way than on the other side of our business, which is more sort of, slow burn, but big reward at the end.
Absolutely fascinating. That was just what I hoped it would be. Joshua, you're very concise and to the point. Well done. Thank you for that. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. That was Joshua Fegan, CEO at Althea Group. For more interviews like this one, please do subscribe to London South East's YouTube channel and keep in touch with us on Twitter @London South East. And my final thought, thank you very much indeed for watching and do stay safe.